Hello and welcome to Man All Goes Racing, and I'm in Raceroom. First thing to say is hopefully this all works, because I've changed a bit of my equipment since the last video, which was a while ago. I've changed my wide to an ultra wide screen, so hopefully you're only going to get the bit in the middle. And also I've changed from my good old 1080 Ti. It's retired. It's a bit like me. It was old. It needed retiring. And I replaced it with a 4070 Super. So I spent lots of money, but it's all worth it. Gives me a better everything. Hopefully, means I can see in the corners now and see where I'm going. What am I doing? Good question, because I can't fucking remember. I'm in Raceroom. And I'm going to have a look at their new content that dropped today. They've got not just new content, it's all new, flashy and shiny apparently. It's also meant to be more efficient and works better and everything. I will say there's an option to just start the game, and there's an option to run it in 32-bit. There's an option to run it with DXVK. Now DXVK is like an interpolation library, so that DX9 titles can run effectively as DX12. I believe it's DXVK is what Intel use with their ARC cards to be able to support DX9 and DX11 without having the hardware to do that. So they actually have, it's pure DX12 card, but it can run those in this sort of emulation layer, if you like. I'm guessing that's what this is meant to do, only I haven't been able to get it to work on my other machine at all in that. And as soon as I try having my recording software running, it don't want to work on here either. So, yeah, whatever. So hopefully this all works. I did notice when I was testing the recording earlier, there was a bit of clicking on the microphone again. I only ever get that with Raceroom, so whatever that is, it's possibly still there. It's a fucking annoyance, but it is what it is. Hopefully now I'm going to press single player and go to a practice session, and it won't sit there going 3 dots flashing for more than a few seconds before it actually fucks off and gets on with it, because I had it doing it for 2 minutes earlier whilst I just tried to start a recording and ended up giving up on it. So we might have to do this in about 24 fucking parts, in which case I'll be very pissed off. I did record the other day a lap around Silverstone on my other machine, and I recorded it to have a look, to try and compare what it looks like, sort of like old graphics versus new graphics. There's a few new options in the graphics. I wouldn't worry about them too much. There's some additional sampling for anti-aliasing and a few other bits and pieces. Nothing particularly clever or major, I should say. Hopefully it's clever and it does what it's fucking meant to, but it's not. It's nothing to be worrying about. Right, what we have added is DTM 95. I did actually buy the BMW 2024 pack, but I might look at that some other time. We'll stick with one thing at a time. We'll have a look with the Alfa Romeo first, and we will go to Avus. Now there's 2 layouts, 94, 98. There's not a huge difference between the two. What I will do is I'll do a few laps, a slow lap around the 94, then try and do a quicker lap, and then I'll just pop out and pop back into the 98 and show the only bit that's different. Excuse me, I've got the hiccups. Clouds, for some fucking reason, doesn't matter how many times you put it on few clouds, it goes back to random, which is really pissing annoying. If I set it to a few clouds, I want it to be a few clouds. I know why they're doing it. They've obviously got their new flashy clouds, so they want everybody to be able to see the sort of overcast through to a clear day at some point or other. I don't care. I want to have a nice little cloudy day every day. Right, first thing to do as soon as you get in is go into car setup and wind the steering lock up as far as it will go, because the hairpin's bloody tight. Haven't changed anything else. Right, drive, and if I remember the right button, we'll jump outside the car. Like I said, if I remember the right button. I think I'm pressing the wrong button there. That one? No, that one. So long since I've done this, I can't remember which button to press. I think we're in the right place now. Come on. Plain blow, there we go. Right, reflections, I think they've done a hell of a lot of work to improve the reflections. They are much better and clearer than they were before. If you can see it from a, get it about there, you can see a nice reflection of a chain link fence on the side windows there. But yeah, very nicely modelled. Very nice. Now I've just got to try and remember which button to press to get back in the bloody car now. Not that one, not that one. That one. Get there. Yay! Right, I haven't adjusted the seat or done anything in this. So I'm just in the default position. The Merc, when I drive that, I'm probably in a slightly different position because that's been in the game for a while and it's probably remembered the last time I drove it when I probably did bugger about with the seating position, but whatever. I'm not using the H pattern because I am not using the H pattern. So what we're going to do is just have a slow drive around. Avus is a very simple circuit, which suits me because I'm a simple person. It's basically sort of big long straight, hairpin, big long straight with a wiggly bit, and then a big long corner at the end. So nothing complicated. I have to say, the new graphics, I'm assuming they updated a shitload of textures as well, because the update's about 26 gig, which is quite large. So if you've got a slow internet connection, that might take you a while. But in terms of textures, I'm sure they're much better than they were. I was looking at things like the fence there and the tarmac. It's also, it's more vivid, but not in a sort of oversaturated, horrible way. It's just quite nice. Right, hairpin, which is very tight. There is a second difference to the 98 version of the track, which you'll see is there's a bit more crap around the end of the barrier there, which means it's quite easy to drive into something. So again, nice quick squirt up here. Again, a bit of a straight, and then you've got to work out where exactly to brake. I'm assuming at various times the cloud, not the clouds, the shadows from these trees will cause a bit of a problem with seeing these bollards, which are quite big. You don't want to be banging off them too much because you can get spat into that wall quite easily. Then there's a chute out of here. It's quite interesting. You can sort of, the first little bit of that wiggle, you can sort of break through the first bit into the second bit, so you can actually trail all the way in. Whether that's the quickest way to do it, I don't know yet, because I've only done a few laps just to check where we're going. And then round here, and then it's, I don't know what's up there. I presume this is a piece of closed road. I can't remember. It's a long time since I looked up Avus. But this quite long but oddly not evenly rounded corner. It's a bit tighter on the entry and a bit more open on the exit, but with a little bit of a kink in the corner. I probably ended up putting my track map so you can't see it. It's off the left hand side where you will probably see it. So, but like I said, it's quite a simple circuit. That's a lap. So we'll do a couple of 3 laps and see if we can actually get some heat in the tyres. Nice sounding car. What I would say is you probably want to turn the traction control down, as it will help the car to rotate, but I won't bother. Not today. You can hear the traction control cutting in there. If you turn it right down to 6, which is I think set to 50%, it does actually help to rotate a bit coming out of that corner. And possibly out there as well. Whoops, careful. It certainly does make the traction control cutting when you jump off those curbs. Try and hug the inside a bit more. Going in near the traction control going mental. Like I said, quite a simple circuit, 55, 56 seconds, something like that. There you go, just under 56 seconds for a lap, so. It's going to be one of those where people will be constantly diving up the inside if you're coming into this corner, and probably trying to go two abreast through the wiggly section is going to be mental. Basically, so I think I will say quit. I think the improvements in things like reflections and the shaders or whatever they have done has made a hell of a difference. Very, very difficult to get around that bloody hairpin. I think it was I watching Jimmy the other day? He said he thinks the Raceroom sound aren't quite as visceral as they used to be, but I think it sounds quite good even from the outside, so I'm going to blame that on cold tyres and shit driving, but whatever. Sounds nice to me. Right, I'll do. I will remember to put that, hopefully I'll remember to put it up in the corner, so you might have been watching it already. I know, slightly crazy, but whatever. Right, practice. And we'll just go to the 98 track and just have a quick look to see what the difference is, which will take us about 1 minute, hopefully. I'm not going to do a crazy amount of everything for these because you're probably better off having a look for yourself. Of course, that means you've got to spend money, but it was only 30 quid, whatever. Well, that included the 10 quid for the 3 bloody BMWs, didn't it? So, right. One other thing I will say is the P1 rim that I've got used to be a bit meh, but I've now got QR2s, and holy shit, that makes a difference. It makes the wheels so much stiffer because there's no flex in the QR2 compared with the QR1. Even if it's the QR2 Lite, it's all carbon composite by the looks of it. Up here, exactly the same. Like, if you sort of look up the inside here, you can see the extra bit of crap on the inside here. If I get around here, you can see there's a big load of extra bullshit there. So I think they've thinned off the approach road slightly by making a sort of concrete bit up the inside there, so it probably makes it even more difficult to get around a bloody corner. This, I think, is all the same. I don't think there's any difference with these. But the major difference is around the corner. Here. I mean, there may be some other differences, but it's, in terms of the actual track layout, it's this bit. This little funnel, and then you've got to try and sort of squeeze your way through this gap here. Which is a little bit odd, but it doesn't make a huge difference. I did a couple of laps earlier and basically just need to try and twat the last cone on the left on the way through, and it doesn't make a lot of difference to your lap time. So if anything, sort of staying there and sort of crossing the track a bit more may actually improve things a bit. But in terms of this bit up here, there's this big load of yellow, and I think it's sort of angles out here, so it actually thins the corner. If I get around here well enough, I might be able to show without crashing into it. Yeah, there. So they've actually put in this big triangular bit, so it makes that side on the approach skinnier, which is a bit annoying. Probably gives you even less chance to overtake. Mind you, it'll stop people going 3 wide coming into it. Although if they do start off 3 wide, they're going to get squeezed into 2 wide. So it's like, let's make a funnel just to fuck people up. Seems a bit weird, but whatever. That's what it was like. That's what it was like. So right, next car and next circuit. Quite a nice car. Don't know what happened there. I somehow managed to minimise Raceroom. It went a bit bizarre. Whether I linked on something on my keyboard, I don't know. Right. As I was saying, quite a nice car. Next, we have the Calebra V8. Today, I'm going to be JJ Lato. And the circuit is the... where the bloody hell was it called? I can't remember what it was called now. Oh, there we go. The Fliegerhorst Diepholz. Apologies to every German on the planet for that mangling of the name of the circuit, but there we go. It's not one I have to see. Clouds back to bloody random again. Scattered. Earlier on, every time I changed the clouds, it made the go race button fuck off and grey itself out, and it's like, I've only changed the clouds, what are you doing? It was taking ages. Press the any key. Right, car setup wise, I haven't done anything to it, so again, I haven't moved the seat, I haven't done anything, so let's see if we can press the right button to have a look outside the car. It's a bit of a long way away, isn't it? Again, really nicely modelled. I think having better reflections actually makes the cars look higher detailed. I mean, look at the reflection in the silver around the cliff there. I think that's what it says, isn't it? Cliff. Does look very nice. Right. Try pressing the right button. No. Okay. That one. Let's trouble with having your keyboard buried underneath your desk like that. Right, this circuit is an air-filled circuit, which means it's got all the usual air-filled things, like impossible to see corners. I don't know if you meant to go out through those two cones or what, but whatever. As you can see, very flat, bit of curving, bit of difference in texture between the tarmac and the concrete. I don't know if this orange line is meant to tell you anything, or whether that's part of the whatever it is when it's not a race circuit. It definitely reminds me of West Raynham in Norfolk, which I used to race on. You got these big buildings like this, the control tower, big, huge, wide racetrack. And you're going, where the fuck am I? And it's all laid out with bits of little fucking chalk on a deck and fucking cones, and you're trying to bomb up towards a corner, going in amongst a sea of cones. Where the fuck am I meant to go? But very simple layout. It's basically a couple of bus stops. This one's tighter. The one on the other side is more open, and a sort of tight corner at one end and a slightly less tight corner at the other. Again, trying to spot the bloody corners, like, where is it? It's here somewhere. And you've got to work out how much of the outside of the track you can use to accelerate out. And again, where's the corner? There's these little corner markers here, the spot, and then the exit of this one is actually the most open of the lot. So let's do a slightly faster lap. Like I said, it's a very simple layout, but it's quite nuanced. Especially difficult to work out where to brake, turning and everything, and how much you can. Again, four-wheel drive car with a bit of understeer, especially on cold tyres. Bit bouncy over the curbs there. Again, if you turn the TC down, you probably get a little bit more rotation, but it's like everything else. The car, it feels like it's about to sort of rotate, and then it pushes. And other times you think it's going to push and then it rotates, and thinking, whichever, do one or the other, don't fuck me about. Presumably that's as you get a little bit of heat in the tyres, it sort of changes its mind about what it's going to do. Very tricky, that second part of that bus stop chicane there. Bit of push. You can hear the traction control going a bit mental. Just over a minute, maybe a minute 3. Let's see if we can just get down. See if I can get a slightly better line through a couple of these corners. That wasn't a great start, as I'm down already. Oops, I think I might have just cut that corner a bit. Nah, I'm getting worse, not better. Never mind. Horrendous amount of cutting going on with the TC there. But it's a very flat circuit. It's a very difficult to spot where you're going until you've done a couple of laps. I mean, it reminds me of sort of various ways of several other sort of circuits, similar sort of thing, all airfield based, either ex-military airfields or actually working commercial airfields. But they're all very similar. They all seem to have quite a similar sort of layout. It's not got a bad flow to it. Again, it's going to be a bit tricky through some of those chicanes, trying not to have some fairly interesting accidents, I suspect. So I'll try and remember to put the replay up and put it in the corner. Hopefully I have sometime later. That's a bit bright, isn't it? And the third and final edition, and we'll go with the third car in the class, which is the C-Klasse. This was already in game, so you might already have it. If you haven't already got it, then it'll be part of the bundle for the DTM cars. So I don't know if there's a different price depending upon whether you've got two cars already, whether you got the one car already or not. Am I going to be? Yeah, it's been burned. Hockenheim Classic, and you have the Grand Prix and the short circuit. I will go around the Grand Prix circuit. I might do the short circuit as well, depending upon how long I've been waffling by the time we get to it. I'm not going to drive around too slowly. Because it's quite a long circuit. It's like 2.25 minutes going at racing speed, so I don't want to spend 10 minutes driving around it. Is it worth looking at the car? Other than to say, one thing I did notice is the shinier looking carbon fibre on the dash. It looks less flat than it did previously, so it's got a bit more life to it. That's one of the things I did notice straight away when I got in here and went, ooh, doesn't that look quite nice? That was one thing that always looked very flat before in Raceroom, was carbon fibre always looked flat, whereas now it's got a bit of shine to it. I mean, carbon fibre, depending on which angle you're looking at it and what it is, it can look quite flat. Like I said, the QR2 is actually carbon composite, I think, and that looks pretty flat, but different type of carbon. So, shall we just go and drive? Or should we have a look around here? Yeah, let's just have a see if I can press the right button first time. And no, no, that was the one, wasn't it? Yeah, that'll do. Getting a bit closer. Again, I think the enhanced reflections really do make a huge difference to how it looks. I don't think reflections look anywhere near as good as they do now before. But yeah, very nice. Very nice. Now, can I press the right button to get back in the car? Yay, got the right one first time. As you can see, I think the steering wheel on this looks huge, and so do my hands. So I may have in the past changed my driving position in this. I will say one thing though, the crowd still look like sort of cardboard cutouts a bit, so I think there might be a bit of motion blur on by default now. But everything's got more pop to it visually, but not in a bad way. It's not oversaturated, it's not really high contrast, it just looks quite natural, but certainly a lot less flat. So I did say I was going to drive around reasonably slowly, didn't I? You don't want the first bit, you want the second bit. So follow the curves basically. There's a tricky little entrance to that. It's obviously as they changed the various chicanes over the years, added various chicanes, they changed them and they left them all in just to be confusing. So I don't know if I actually ran different combinations at various times. I'm going to pick up a bit of shit on my tyre, eh? This one's definitely a bit of a tricky bastard. I mean, hopefully most people know the layout from other games, so it's not like it's something you probably never seen before. It's certainly not the best layout. I prefer the slightly more open chicanes to this, because again you got the sort of slightly more open entry available. I prefer the slightly more open ones. Then the corner up ahead that I usually fuck up, which is the right-hander into the stadium section. At least this doesn't allow you to do the I'm going to use all of the left-hand side of the track job, which is the start of where there used to be a drag strip, if I remember correctly. But the curves are quite nice and low, so you can attack them without too many problems. But let's see if I can do a lap without buggering it up on my very first corner. Quite easy to run on the shit on the outside and get your lap taken away from you. One thing I have noticed in the Merc, I didn't notice it in the other two cars, but there's a lot of shit build up on the windscreen, whether it's because it's a longer circuit and you got more time to just sort of driving along with your foot flat on the floor. Bit of rotation on the brake in there. There's all these little spots building up on the windscreen. I don't know how bad they get. I've only done 2 or 3 laps in the car, so they're getting to the point where they're quite obvious. So you have to be a little bit careful on that curb on the exit, because it can cause the car to rotate if you're not careful. And when I say rotate, I mean more than you'd like it to. Oh, tyres are a bit colder in the front. Didn't quite stop as fast as I'd like it to. You don't get a lot of heat in the tyres around here, I'll say that. In fact, you get basically no heat in the tyres. Yeah, the TC working overtime again. You can almost make it one long corner, but you do have to do it in about 2 bits, just about. Oh shit. Leapt off the curb a bit, that's a bit unfortunate. Should I do this lap and then give it a rest? Or should I do 2 and try and get down to about 2:15? Bit of understeer there again. Gets a bit more lively once you get the traction control down to about 50%. Again, spots on the windscreen building up quite quickly. It's also very easy to run wide out of there, so. Default setups are not bad. On the fact that with the four-wheel drive cars especially, the traction control can cause it to lack a bit of rotation at times, but again, four-wheel drive, they do quite often tend to be a bit pushy. We have one more go, see if we can get the first corner right. Again, the difference that the graphical changes make certainly make everything look a lot more pleasant in a sort of nice visual pop way. So whether that will encourage more people to go back to Raceroom, I don't know. Damn, that's really annoying. I'm looking around the circuit and not looking where I'm going, which is not helping. Just looking for other nice new visual bits and thinking, shit, missed the corner. I don't think I'll bother doing another lap because I might have a quick look around the short circuit, so I'll just finish this one anyway. Most of the curves are quite benign, but that one's not. Not if you catch a rear wheel on it. Ah! What the f... just happened there? Well, that was bloody weird. Yes, I did just suddenly get blinded and everything went white. I don't know what happened there. I will call that a lap anyway. We'll have a quick look around the short circuit. That was weird. Hate for that to happen during a race. I don't think I've ever seen Raceroom do that. I've had some weird shit going on with the HUD, where it would stop showing you the right details and it was sort of catch up again like 30 seconds later, but that was well weird. Right, must remember we're looking at the short circuit, mustn't I? I don't know, the short circuit has actually changed a lot over the years. Probably not a lot, I don't think. There might even be more than one variant of the short circuit. So on the short circuit they let you use the left hand side of the drag strip. Interesting. Where I forget where I'm going and don't brake in time. I mean, the short circuit's actually got quite a nice flow. You just have to be a bit careful around this bit here. Oh shit, I got it wrong, didn't I? As I was saying, you have to be very careful around that bit because this lap will not count. Not surprised. Try that again. I got confused about which corner was which, so I thought the first right was actually the second right going back onto the other circuit, so easy mistake to make. So I slowed down for the wrong bit and speeded up for the wrong bit, so it's better, so you want to come out wider early. At least I only crashed it in practice. I know. A little less on the traction control. See if we can do a clean lap this time. Yeah, I'll shut up because I'm concentrated. I can hear you all sitting there going, he's not saying anything, is he? It's actually a fun little circuit, the short circuit. I'm not sure this is the best car to be going round there. You want something sort of small and maybe even front wheel drive. I'm sure the NSUs will be great fun round here. quite easy to get a bit too close to the wall coming into the back onto the main circuit. Yeah, fun little circuit. Interesting car to drive around it as well. Now, obviously, most of these circuits were pretty much the same in 92 and 95, so you'll be able to use the sort of DTM 92s around the same circuits. There's a few others that have probably not changed at all since that sort of time, like Raceroom won't have changed. I was trying to think what else would have been the same. So you could probably do yourself quite a nice little sort of DTM 92 championship with a combination of the circuits that were about at the time. So all in, I think, in terms of visuals, I think they've made a huge improvement. When I checked, the DX9 version didn't seem to be using a lot more, if any, more GPU power than the previous version. I'll see if I can get the DXVK version to run and see if there's any difference, but I'll have to do it probably without doing any recording at the same time because it didn't seem like it. I'm not sure why it didn't start on the other machine. It just came up with an error and threw an error and went, tell them about it so they can improve it. And I went, whatever, I've got better things to do, thank you, at the moment. So yeah, all in, couple of nice cars, 3 classic editions. Avus is an interesting circuit in as much as there's not a lot of complexity to it, but there's a lot of nuance, I think, when you're actually going to race it, because of trying not to run wide around the big horseshoe bend, people shoving out the inside, going into the hairpin, and obviously trying not to kill yourself coming through the wiggly section, because that wall on the left is very inviting on the last bit. The sort of airfield circuit is definitely different than what most of what's in Raceroom, certainly. Although it did remind me a bit of Silverstone Stowe circuit, in fact. So yeah, and obviously the classic Hockenheim circuit is a classic. It's in the name. So, but the cars are nice. I'd have to do a few more laps in all of them to go. Definitely that one or not that one, but they feel like they're sort of all in the ballpark. I haven't actually done 3 cars at one circuit and sort of compared what sort of lap times they're doing, so how well balanced they are, I don't know. But, hopefully they are. They all got slight nuance differences between them. Amount of rotation you get at default is different between the 3, and how well they turn in is different between the 3. So they're not exactly sort of like, oh, they're all the same class, they're all going to feel the same, they're all going to feel slightly different. So whether or not you think it's worth the money, like I said, it's what was it, 760 VRP per track, was it, or something less than £6, I think, per track. The cars, I can't remember how much they were now, £6 or £7. £7 was it, for the DTM 95 pack? And then, like I said, I bought the 2024 BMWs at the same time because I bought a load of VRP, so I thought, what the fuck, might as well spend it. Can't use it for anything else, can you? So all in, I think it's visually it definitely makes a lot more modern feel to it. It's a bit like firing up Race 07 and then you fired up Raceroom and you thought not a lot's changed between the two, despite the fact there was like 10 years difference between them. Now you fire up the two and it's like, oh yeah, it's definitely a modern title compared with that. Is it the best looking game on the planet? No. Is it a major improvement? Yes. So yeah, And the clouds, I think they've done a really good job on the clouds. I did look at various options, but the overcast a bit fucking gloomy for my outlook on life at the moment. I don't want gloomy, I want fucking bright and fun. So, yes, all an improvement. Certainly the cars, they look better because of the reflections seem better and everything else has got a bit more pop to it. So, again, nice improvements. Not stupidly expensive, not super cheap either. Sort of about the usual price for Raceroom stuff. So, all in, not bad. So, hopefully I'll be making more videos soon. Not too many probably, but and if you haven't jumped on the Straightforward forum to see what's going on there, might be worth a look if you're an ex-WMDer. Have a look, see what's happening over there. They sound like they've got some interesting stuff up their sleeve, and they started off well because they put in the car that I actually said if they put it in I'll buy the game anyway, with a Lister Storm. I had a couple of questionnaires they put around, and it sort of at the end of the first one was, so anything else? I just basically put, please put a Lister Storm in it, I'll buy it. And it's the very first car they announced, so I don't think it was really because I asked for it, but you never know. Right, that'll do for me. I'm now going to sort out doing the replays, and that'll take me a month or so to remember how to sort out the shit on the other machine to actually get this thing onto YouTube. It's been a while. But for me, for now, enjoy racing, have fun, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye. Where's my button?